Picture yourself perched on a rugged ledge at the Grand Canyon's edge, the sun dipping low and painting those ancient red cliffs in hues of fire and gold. Your camera is gripped tight, pulse quickening with every whisper of wind that stirs the dust at your feet. But imagine if your gear didn't just freeze the moment. It sends the thrill in your veins, the hush of the canyon's breath, turning raw capture into something that pulses with life. Hey there, fellow image chasers, storytellers, and tech obsessives tuning in from every corner of the map. This is your front row seat to the horizon of what's next. We're cracking open the Sony A7V rumors, those hushed secrets bubbling out of Sony's workshops that promise to redefine full-frame magic. If you've been nursing your A7 for like an old friend or eyeing your first powerhouse hybrid to supercharge your channel, hang tight. By the time we're done, you'll be marking your calendar for November, itching to know how you manage without it. What's the one shot you've been chasing that this beast could finally nail? Hit the comments and spill it. Let's get the conversation rolling right now. To really feel the buzz, we have to rewind a bit, because no epic tale starts at the climax. The A7 lineup? It's more than metal and glass. It's the quiet hero behind countless tales etched in light. Flashback to 2013. The first A7 crashed the party like a shooting star, packing full-frame mirrorless power into a body light enough to sling over your shoulder for a Yosemite trek without a single groan. Fast forward, and the A7 II brought stabilization wizardry that let you steady handheld frames in the murkiest jazz dives of New Orleans. The A7 III? A game changer, handing pro-grade muscle to dreamers for under $2,000, morphing casual hikers into sought-after shooters at destination weddings. Then the A7 IV arrived, its 33-megapixel soul and 4K prowess fueling everything from scroll-stopping shorts to indie flicks lighting up festivals. But here's the twist. 3 years have ticked by since that launch, and in the breakneck world of imaging, that's a lifetime. Sony feels the heat. Canon's R6 Mark II is flexing hard. Nikon's Z6 III is circling like a shadow. So what's brewing in those labs to reclaim the throne? Not just a tweak, but a full-on earthquake. And these leaks? They're seeping out like forbidden nectar, irresistible, golden, and everywhere you look. Envision it. It's the tail end of September 2025, and the grapevine's alive with voices from the inner circle, insiders who've cradled early builds in the soft glow of Tokyo's design dens. Word is, the big unveil lands in October or November, primed to hijack your holiday scroll with instant wishlist chaos. The holdup? Those wildcard U.S. tariffs rattling global pipelines, plus Sony's own smash like the A12 hogging the assembly lines. But when it storms in, expect a 1-2 punch. A brand new G Master lens leads the charge, whispers pointing to a versatile 400 to 800 millimeters f/6.3-8 telephoto tailor-made for lurking after grizzlies in Yellowstone's wilds. Then, hot on its heels, the A7V body itself. Shelf stock up come early 2026, though pre-orders will vanish quicker than a flash sale at your favorite photo shop. Stateside, the price tags floating around hover at $2,800 to $3,000 for body alone, a nudge up from the A7IV's $2,500 sticker. Steep? Maybe. But once you glimpse what's inside, that uptick feels like the cost of one less latte run to fuel your next obsession. Now, zero in on the soul of this machine, the sensor, and things get deliciously tangled like a plot twist you didn't see coming. The intel split right down the middle, even among Sony's own craftsmen, but that's the thrill of the chase. One thread, pulled from a test rig's firmware, insists on 33 megapixels. Freshly forged, not reheated from the A7IV's recipe. Think a semi-stack setup that turbocharges data flow without inflating the bill to A1 levels. Dynamic range soaring to 15 stops, noise that shrugs off ISO 51200 like a summer breeze, and tone so vivid your edits wrap up before lunch. But turn the page, and there's talk of a 44-megapixel BSI CMOS Titan, unstacked yet honed for hybrid warriors who slice into crops from epic coastal drives along Highway 1. Or, in a curveball from a Sony whisper overseas, a 40-megapixel middle ground, sans any global shutter fantasies. Contradictions? Sure, but from hands that have caressed the prototypes. No less. My gut? It's tilting toward 33MP, laced with hidden gems. Plenty sharp for massive prints, but nimble enough to dance. Whichever way it lands, it's virgin silicon, teamed with a bespoke AI processor that alchemizes pixels into pure narrative gold. And that AI brain? Buckle up, because it's light years beyond grandma's point-and-shoot smarts. Recall the A7V's tracking? Reliable for most, but it could trip on wild cards like pelicans plunging into Florida's turquoise waves. The A7V flips the script with AI that's practically prescient, real-time body recognition, face lock that reads micro-expressions in the heat of the moment, even pose prediction for snagging candid slices of life amid Times Square's frenzy. It's channeling the A9III's foresight, guessing your subject's next move before you blink. Bursts at 20 frames per second, mech, elec, raw, dwarfing the A7V's 10, handing you an arsenal to capture that flawless wave crash off Hawaiian shores. Pre-capture? One source swears it's off the table. But if it slips in, you'll snag frame seconds before your finger falls. IBIS climbs at 8 stops, smoothing half-a-second handheld wonders for those velvety bokeh backdrops in your daily vlogs. It's not merely quick. It's intuitive, like a trusted psychic mapping your road trips every turn. Yet the real crown jewel might be the video realm, where the A7V could claim hybrid supremacy for those weaving tales from Napa's vine-draped ceremonies or aerial pursuits across the Rockies' jagged peaks. Leaks promise uncropped 4K at 120 frames per second. Liquid slow motion that keeps your vistas wide and wild. No framing theft. Stretch it to 6K open gate at 30p, delivering that lush letterbox cinema vibe fresh from the sensor. Triple base ISOs, 800 for daylight punch, 4,000 for log depth, 35,600 for HDR glow. Yield pristine takes from pre-dawn fog to neon-lit nights. Overheating? Banished. Smarter cooling lets you roll uninterrupted through endless golden hour symphonies. The monitor's a 4-axis articulating touchscreen, twisting into voodoo angles for desert floor florals or sky-high selfies. Dual slots, CF Express Type A and SD, locking that bulletproof backup. Sparing you the panic of full deck mid-vows. Shifting to the shell, those prototype glimpses are pure eye candy. A live black magnesium frame, echoing the A7V's poise but honed sharper, like a racer fresh from a garage. Ditching the A12's heft, it's slimmer at about 1.4 pounds, a vlogger's dream for all-day hauls. The EVF? Up to 9.44 million dots at 0.9x mag, sucking you into view like a portal to another world. Control snap with precision, crisper buttons, tackier dials for frosty Rocky Mountain grips. Wi-Fi 6E blast files at 800 Mbps plus, syncing your phone's reel before the tripod's cool. Ceilings fortified against northwest squalls, so rain won't rain on your parade. Design-wise, it's evolutionary, not explosive, but in your palms it melts away, leaving just you and the spark. Time for the honest weigh-in. Is this worth rating the piggy bank? Value's personal, but line it up against the pack, and the A7V shines like a beacon. Against the A7 IV, worlds apart. Twice the speed, foresight that tames mayhem, video endurance for the long haul. That $300 premium? A steal if you're chasing pro gigs or monetizing your feeds. Canon's R6 III buzz? It'll swipe Sony sensor tricks, but Canon's palette bows to Sony's vast E-mount arsenal. Over 300 options, from Sigma Steels to Sony's Razr Primes. Nikon Z6 III? Cozy handling, sure, but Sony's AF owns the unpredictable. For us across the pond, bundles at B&H or a Durama start under $3,500 with a 24 to 70f/2.8. Meanwhile, the A7IV is dipping to $1,800 this Black Friday. Snag it if cash is king. But the V? It's built for tomorrow's, an heirloom in disguise. What hooks me deepest, though, are the lives it'll ignite. Envision a scrappy filmmaker in L.A., fueled by ramen and raw ambition, wielding the A7V to sculpt unpolished clips into a Sundance stunner that hooks an agent's eye. Or you, the weekend warrior braving Chicago's tailgate freeze, freezing that buzzer-beater glory in 20 frames per second fury that sets your grid ablaze. These aren't dry digits. They're kindling for your blaze. The semi-stacked heart unearthing velvet shadows and intimate headshots. The AI core trailing a gaze through a smoky jazz den's haze. The 6K streams crafting tales that tug souls from sea to shining sea. Sure, rumors shift like sand. Sony might zig tomorrow, locking in 33MP or unleashing a 44MP Thunderbolt. The insiders tussle. It'll clear at launch. But the truth gleams. Sony's saga roars on, the A7V its gleaming blade. It's crafted for the visionaries etching America's mosaic. Pixel by pulse, from Brooklyn's raw edges to Montana's boundless skies. So your play? Blind faith on pre-order? Or hold for the grip? Fire away in the comments. 33MP safe bet or megapixel mutiny? If this rumor rush lit your fuse, thumb up, sub for the post-reveal breakdown, and bell on to catch every click. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.